Hello, beautiful creatives. This week I decided to go big or go home. I brought a lot of stuff out, so I didn't go down to the pond or out far into the woods this time. I'm staying close to the house because I'll show you the bag that I brought. I brought a ridiculous amount of stuff, not because I'm going to use it all. I'm going to still try to stay with a very limited amount of supplies that I use on these really big drawings, paintings, mark making pages that I want to make. I decided to make them on big sheets outside of my journals because I'm thinking what I may end up doing afterwards is tearing them up and using them as collage, reassembling them as collage within my journals, which I think would be really cool. So I got to show you this bag I brought, but I have this loaded. I'll actually pull the camera off or point it down and show you just a little bit of what I have in here because it's crazy how much I brought. And I'm actually up against the stone wall, so I'm kind of using the stone wall as a table. I also got some new stuff that I should show you in this video. One of the new things that I got was this chair. And as always, I put all of the links to the items that I show you in below the video. You know, you hit the video description below the video, a drop down thing comes and there's all kinds of links, coupon codes for companies, and links to all of the items I use. YouTube's doing something weird now. Like last week when I put all my links in for Amazon, it put in links to like Walmart and stuff. I'm not sure what that's about because I don't know if I get my affiliate income from that. But this chair just pulls out like that. And it looks pretty flimsy, but it says it holds 400 pounds. So I'm gonna test this out today and hope that I don't fall on my butt doing it. Yeah, let me see if I can point the camera down and show you what I have in, at least some of what I have in this bag. I'm not sure I'm gonna unpack the whole thing, but let me show you. Okay, so this is my drawing board that I brought. And this bag is chock-a-block full. I brought huge brushes this time, really large brushes to play with, and a spray bottle, clips. Let's see what else is in here. Water. I got lots of water to mix with my ink. I got this little pack, which I showed you recently in a video. It's got my art toolkit, which there are coupons, codes below my video for art toolkit supplies. This is my dry gouache art toolkit. I'm probably not going to use this today. I have videos on how I load my dry gouache and keep it from cracking. And then this just has a bunch of pencils, erasers, pens, some brushes, some Neo colors, some Pentel art brushes, and some Graphy tint in it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I've already showed it in a couple of videos. So there's that. I have a little pop-up water container, which is great for when I'm doing gouache, but I don't know if I'm going to use that today. I have a bunch of trays that I might end up mixing ink in. So these are just lids to like those Tupperware dishes that you store food in. So I might use these to have a mix where I can dip my big brushes into. We'll see. And then this is a water container that you can pop out. So I might use that for cleaning my brush. Tons of paper towels. I did get these. Maybe I'll show you these when I get back into the studio. These are tiny little travel packs of wipes. They fold out into larger size wipes, but I did find I got ink all over my hands last time. I brought some oil pastels. And this is what I'm going to use. Okay, these are the things that I think I'm going to use. I actually did bring my other water bottle, this little water bottle too. I forgot I've got both water bottles. So I should have plenty of water. Oh, this is just a container of gesso and white acrylic ink. And then this, oh, and these are my inks that I've showed you in the last couple of videos. This is, and I'll put links below again to what kind of inks they are. This is pure ink, pure black ink, and this is just watered down. It's the same ink, but watered down. It's actually not, it's in a black cat bottle, but I ran out of the black cat, so it's a Sumi ink. So I've got those inks. These Graphy tint blocks. These are their XL blocks. I think I will end up using these. I know I will use the, well, I don't know if I'm going to use the black ink this time, because this is the other thing I brought that I am thinking of using. And this is what's taking up so much room in here, is acrylic inks and golden high flow acrylics, a couple of colors of that. So I've got a few different colors, mostly earth tones, but I also added the high flow acrylics in a green gold and a purple. I brought a fine liner with some white in it. Don't know if I'll use that. Yeah, so this is what I plan on playing with today, is this and these extra large blocks. Whether I stick to that plan or not and add other things, I can't promise you anything. So we'll see. But I did bring gloves. I don't know if I'll wear them. Well, I'll have to see. But, and then I did bring, I was thinking maybe to warm up, I would warm up in one of my smaller sketchbooks. This is the, actually I forget which one this is. What is this? Oh yeah, this is the Twone, T-W-O-N-E. Very thin paper. I don't think it says, but I'll put, it's 5 by 5 by 8 by 5, 224 pages, 100 GSM. So it's lightweight paper. Love these little sketchbooks for just messing around. So I may do this. I have to be careful though if I put too much ink on it, because it's thin paper and it will run through. So I'm not sure. I got to think about that, if I'm going to use this or just go straight to my big paper. But that's what I brought. A lot of stuff to play with. So I'm gonna get set up and figure out how I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm sitting on my plastic stool that I just showed you, which you could actually use as a table too, you know. You could sit on the ground and use this little stool as a table, and it adjusts to different heights. I think this thing is really cool. So I'm sitting on that, and it holds a lot of weight. I'm no featherweight, you know. Anyways, so yeah, I think I may start with this setup here on the stone wall and just see what happens. I'm kind of excited because I have no plan. It's totally stress-free creating. So I think I'm going to start with brushes that I know will make raggedy marks. This is a brush that I cut up ages ago. I just kind of snipped it. And these brushes I got at a tag sale years ago, and they make really great marks. I may start by pouring some water into here. So I'm just going to look around me. I'm not going to draw anything in particular. I think, and actually I was going to start with mark making. I think I'm actually going to start, and I'm probably not going to film the whole thing. I may just film bits and then show you where I am with each sheet. We'll see. Because I feel like I can show you more if I don't do a full demo. And then I'm just going to go for it. Wear clothes that you don't mind if they get ruined. I have my tick sprayed clothes on and an apron because I know I get covered with ticks when I'm out here. Okay. This is, I forgot to say, this is really just really thin, cheap Blick drawing paper. I bought this, a ream of this, a huge box of this a million years ago, and I've been using it ever since. So it's not going to tolerate a lot, but since I'm going to use the pieces as collage, I'm not sure that really matters.
Gravel road, I'm filled with promises. Truth is hard to bear, sometimes I'm told. Hope builds up as we grow old. Gravel road, send me an extra hello. Your whispers set dawn are soft. Greeting morning's gentle touch. Oh, what glorious days. Nature smitten me with your grace. After 1,000 miles of singing songs, tall grass branches, swans and ponds. Promises are fleeting thoughts. I merely connect the dots. Your whispers at dawn are soft. Greeting morning's gentle touch. Oh, what glorious days. Nature smitten me with your grace. Your whispers at dawn are soft. Greeting morning's gentle touch. Oh, what glorious days. Nature smitten me with your grace. Your whispers at dawn are soft. Greeting morning's gentle touch. Oh, what glorious days. Nature smitten me with your grace.
I just wanna go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same things you can see. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Could be 20 minutes or an hour or two. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk.
Okay, my back is killing me. I went way further than I should have because I was having so much fun. I couldn't stop. Even though my back is really killing me, it's so hard to stop, you guys. This is so creatively stimulating. I did find out that I couldn't really use these big charcoal blocks on this thin paper when it was wet. The paper's just too thin. It's drawing paper. It's not meant to be that rough. So I set a bunch of the paintings over there in the sun to dry. I'm gonna bring them back over here so I can show you what I did. Because it's such thin paper, it's not holding a heavy pigment load, so the colors aren't really vibrant. But it's a great start to bring back into the studio to work on further. I mean, they're fabulous expressive starts that you could either work on as a whole or tear up and work on in your sketchbook in smaller portions. So I'm pretty excited about that. On days when you're not feeling creative or you're not feeling well enough to get out, then you have all these really expressive starts. And I will say, for those of you, some of you have mentioned in the comments that you really can't get out, or you live in the city, you can't get to a park, you can't get out that far to where you can get leaves and twigs and sticks. That's fine. You can You can watch my videos where I show nature and take screenshots, or you can go to Pinterest and look up pictures of forests, lakes, oceans, and just work from there. You know, really try to feel the space in your body. Try to recall memories of the smell, the feel of the breeze on you. It'll be so healing for your nervous system. Even if you're not there, you can convince your nervous system that you're there, and it will be calming. It will really be calming and healing for you. And then from that place, go ahead and start to make your marks. And it'll be just as powerful. It really will. So don't feel sad if you can't get out, because you can still create this way. Another option is to have family members bring you some branches and twigs and leaves when they stop by, you know, or if you have a friend that can maybe mail you a packet of leaves from where they live. It might be fun to get some leaves from Hawaii, or, you know, I'm in Vermont, you know, so different plants grow in different places. That might be an option for you, but it is a super fun way to create. I really enjoyed it. It's so much fun. It's easy to overdo it. You got to kind of listen to your body better than I do. I'm not good at listening to my body when I get really excited about creating. So let me gather the paintings that I have there in the sun drying. I'll bring them over here and I'll show them to you, and I'll show you how my setup looks now after I've been working, and then I'm probably going to pack up and haul all this stuff inside. Okay, so there's my setup after I'm done. It ended up being the perfect setup. I didn't plan it that way. The chair worked great. I'll put a link for that below. Really was a lifesaver when my back got sore. I did find, and this rock was such a great table, as was the stone wall. I mean, it was really a good setup. But I did find it was easier to be more expressive standing up. So I would stand, and then in between, that's my water bucket. Again, I'll put a link below. That worked great. That collapsible water bucket. Loved the big brushes. The bag worked great because it was easy to reach everything. Easier than like a backpack. And here are the finished pieces. They're in heavy shade, so it'll probably affect the colors, but there's one. And when I painted them, I had the intention that I was going to go back into them with that. I love this one that I did with the goldenrod. Just sort of pressing the goldenrod down on the paper and whacking it down, and then adding the yellow to represent the flowers. That was so much fun. I think that one was probably the most fun. So, yeah. I really like that pop of turquoise in the corner of that one. This one I like a lot too. I left a lot of white space, which I tend to really like. So I like that one. And there's moments in each of these that are just amazing. So I could see tearing them down. Probably because they're in shade, it's going to make them look very blue. That was the one where I pushed down the fern. And I'm looking forward to going back into these with some of those big blocks of charcoal or neo colors. This was the first one I did, and I tried to go over it with the charcoal, and I ripped the paper because the paper just is too thin. I mean, if it's even 90-pound paper, which it's probably not, very thin drawing paper, but it was a workout standing up and moving really expressively, moving my arms and my body really expressively as I painted. You can probably hear that I'm out of breath. I got quite a workout, so that's a lot of inspiration right there. I guess my three favorites are the goldenrod. Oh, I love the goldenrod. That is just so cool. Some of those marks. And then this one for sure. And this one where I pressed the fern down. I like that a lot. And then I guess this one, I like the kind of woodsy distance that gets expressed in here, kind of a foggy woods. So, but then again, you know, I really like some of these marks on this one too. A lot of fun. I just realized I was bending way over, hurting my back even more, and I could have just zoomed in on these. Really, really fun. I really hope you guys can get out and give it a try. So I could have brought a lot less. I really could have just brought the inks and the little trays. These little trays worked great for mixing my inks with water, mixing colors, because I was mixing different colors together, and then just adding water to them, either with the big, huge brushes that I used. This one is a Blick Mega Brush. It's a nylon flat. Does it say what size? Oh, it's a 50. A size 50. This is another Blick Mega Nylon Round, size 50. Isn't that a great brush? Look at those brushes. And then just a couple of old ratty, a chip brush and a brush that I got at a tag sale that doesn't even have a name on it. Great trays, nice little container to put the inks in. And this bag, I'll try to find a link for that. That's something that I had linked and talked about in earlier videos because I was using it in my art nest. And then I did use my Neocolors a little bit. And I think that's all I used in that pack. So I am going to pack up and go rest my very sore back and look at my paintings and further investigate them, further explore them. Hey creatives, so after I did all that outdoor painting a couple of days ago, I got really sick. I did all that outdoor painting, and then I had a day with like multiple medical appointments, and I went to visit my sister, and I just got really, really sick afterwards. So today is like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days later, and I thought I would show a setup that I might use that would be a much smaller setup, a less complicated setup. I am not that good at listening to my body on a day that I feel good, on a day that I can get out and feel good. If you had seen me in between clips of that filming, I was sweating, I was panting, I was out of breath, it was very hot. I was standing in a lot of leaf litter, so I was stirring up leaf mold and a lot of allergens and mast cell liberators, which tend to get my mast cells flared up. I was doing everything wrong for my health, but I was so excited about the art that I was making, and I was so excited about sharing it with you. So I need personally to learn balance when I'm doing that. Yeah, it's just something I'm always trying to work on. And actually, I've mentioned that on my social media, and so many of you have chimed in and said you have the exact same problem. On a day when you're having a good day, you tend to go out and really overdo it. So I'm going to do a different setup today, one that could be very tiny. So this is the Chow Mei watercolor set that Paul Rubens sent me a long time ago. I did a couple of other videos on this. I absolutely love this set. Yeah, I'll put a link below. Actually, Paul Rubens is having a really big 15-year anniversary celebration sale. I think it's August 21st through the 25th or something like that. So yeah, you might want to check out their sale. But this set is so light. It's plastic. It's not like a lot of their metal sets. So this is super light, tons of colors, I'm bringing a Paul Rubens brush, a mop brush, holds lots of waters. I'm not actually going anywhere. I'm just going to create on my deck today. So I just want to try to show an alternative setup today if you're not well enough to go trampsing out in the woods like I did the other day and end up not feeling good. But so this is a much simpler setup, just a watercolor palette. I got a skewer, a barbecue skewer for a scraper, a mop brush. I thought I would just show this, a portable watercolor brush set. I don't know if I will use this or not, but I thought I would just bring it to show that literally you could just bring this in a foldable water cup. So much more portable and so much easier than that massive amount of stuff that I brought out with me yesterday in my excitement to try everything. And I ended up using so little of that stuff that I brought with me the other day. Okay, so I've got those. Now, because I am out on my deck and I can bring extra things, I don't think I said this is the Etcher sketchbook. This is their, what is it? The 6x8 landscape sketchbook, and I have stuff in here, but I do still have a few pages that are empty. So I'm going to play in this because it's really good quality watercolor paper, and the extras that I bought that wouldn't be necessary if you were just going to go out with this tiny kit, but because I'm on my deck, I could afford to bring out some extras, is a spray bottle. And I actually do have that little tiny spray bottle that's just like a little tube. I have that in my art toolkit bag. So if I was going to bring a spray bottle, that's probably what I would bring. As a matter of fact, thinking about it, all of this probably would slip right into my art toolkit bag. That's a thought. So I could do that. I brought a giant... this is like a hake or hake, I've heard people say it both ways, brush. It's something that I used to use for my silk painting, to lay down large areas of dye on the silk. I might use this, I might not. I brought that Cheap Joe's loose goose, Scrogie's loose goose that I've showed you in so many different videos. And then a couple of scrubber brushes, a Princeton Select Chisel Blender, number 6, and a Zen Royal and Langnickel number 8 scrubber brush for removing watercolor. I don't know how well the watercolor removes off of the Etcher pages. And then this is the Chow Mei paint. I also have the tubes of Chow Mei. So I brought just 3 tubes of the Chow Mei paint, and I thought I would bring these little plastic cups. And I thought I could maybe mix up some washes to sort of, I don't want to do too much splashing like I did the other day because I'm on the deck, I don't want to make a mess. But then I brought some granulation medium. No idea if I'll use it, and I just realized I didn't bring a dropper, so I'm not sure if I would like pour that into a cup, which I might do. I might fool around with it. And then I brought some golden fluid acrylics, titanium white. It's a much cooler day out today, and I get so stressed in the heat. I think this cooler air and just sitting quiet will help me to feel better. So I'm going to play in my sketchbook. I'm going to have some quiet playtime, and if I get anything of interest, I will show you. There's a little tool here on the side of this palette, and you can lift this mixing tray with it. And I have my the color guide underneath, and there's this whole mixing area here, which is kind of nice. So you can have two mixing areas, and then just put the little tool back in there. So I'll put down a light wash, and then I will let it dry, and then I'll come back and just build on the layers. It'll be fun to see how splashy and expressive I can get here without making an absolute mess of the deck. Now, I don't remember if I put drops of the granulating. No, I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure I didn't put drops of granulating medium in there. So I'm going to put a drop into each. Oh, that was a lot of drops. Right into the paint. And then maybe I'll add some from my brush onto there. Now I'm going to let this dry and see what happens with it. Okay, creatives, I did end up staying out here on the deck and creating. I did end up getting my gouache paints out for the last couple of paintings, and I did get out my the little pack of Neocolor 2s that I have, and these Graphy Tint water-soluble pencils I used towards the end, and my ink stick, my Paul Rubens brush, and this is just an Isabey travel brush that I got with some watercolor set years ago. It's a great little brush. And my Chow Mei palette and tubes I used in these little cups. But I did not film the process. I started to actually film the process, but I ended up being so sick today that I was so mumbly. I don't feel like I'm going to be able to salvage a lot of that footage. If I do, you know, during editing, I'll save as much of it as I can, but I think it was kind of a mess, and then I just gave up trying to film so that I could just have some time to myself. I'm not sure these pages are going to show so good here on the deck, but this was the first one that I did. And this was the second one that I did. And just, you know, just trying to really explore how far I could push it, you know, what different marks we're going to do, what different drips we're going to do, trying to create blooms in certain areas, just seeing how far I could push these paintings. I would get them to a point where I would kind of like them, and then I like, you know, when it's in my sketchbook, I like to push it a little further and just see how far can I go. And sometimes I go too far, a lot of times I go too far, but sometimes I end up liking where I've pushed it to. This one I used that clear wax crayon that I have, and I've shown that in other demos, but it's just a clear wax crayon, and I put that down first, and I couldn't really see where I was going with it, which was kind of cool, and then I went back and painted over it. So there's a little bit of that clear crayon in the sky and this sort of river back here and in the foreground, and that was fun. Actually, I'd like to do some more of that. This one, just the, you know, the watercolors, the Chow Mei watercolors, and then I went over it with some Neocolor 2 and did some scribbling. I really love the way scribbles look over a painting, but that was kind of fun. And this, I think, is my last one. Yeah, this is the last one. Just sort of a little beach scene with scribbles and splatters on it. So that is what I got done today. And what I'll say is I felt absolutely awful today. I was down in the dumps about it because it's such a beautiful day. Let me take the camera and show you. How absolutely gorgeous it is out today. And I would have loved to have hiked down to the pond, which is what I had wanted to do, but I just did not feel well enough at all. So just coming out here and doing those drawings, really allowing myself to not care how they came out, but allowing myself to, you know, be immersed in the creative process. I needed that so bad today. I really, really needed to create. And if I had, as lousy as I felt, if I had, you know, tried to push myself to do a beautiful still life or a beautiful landscape, I would have been miserable. I would not have enjoyed myself at all. But I just played. I 100% played. And I hope that this is encouraging to you guys in that you don't have to be in beautiful surroundings. You can sit in your living room and do this. You can look at beautiful nature pictures on Pinterest, on YouTube, watch a nature video on YouTube and pause the screen. It's just the creating. The really important part is the act of creating. Actually, from where I was sitting further back on the deck, I could not even see this beautiful scenery for the most part because the awning was down. So I was sitting there in the chair, and I was so far back on the deck and the awning's down, so I couldn't even see the beautiful blue sky. I could feel the really nice breeze, but my point is it doesn't have to be beautiful where you are. And you don't have to be high energy. You don't have to be in a creative mood necessarily. You just need to show up. And the more of this sort of loose creating that you do and experimenting with mark making and finding your marks, finding the marks that really speak to you and that you like to repeat again and again, this is of great value. As far as helping get your mind off of not feeling well and passing the time when you don't feel well, and just exercising your creative muscle, you know, your hand, eye, brain muscle, just keeping it going, keeping it moving. So from me on the deck, where I am still just really feeling quite awful, I hope that you were able to sort of get the message that I was trying to get across this week, from feeling good and energized and being outside and doing great paintings to feeling absolutely awful and just sitting in a recliner chair on my deck. I still created both times, both ways, you know, with high energy and low energy, feeling good and not feeling good. You can do it. You can create. You can, you know, put marks on paper and have it be really enjoyable as long as you're willing to let go. You know, choose peace over perfection. Choose the peacefulness of laying down marks, laying down color, and letting go of results over really trying to, you know, create pretty art and end up with some sort of perfect piece of art, because that's just not fun in my mind, especially when you're not feeling good. Hey guys, you ever wonder what it takes to edit a YouTube video, especially a long one? This is my editing software, and I use DaVinci Resolve, and this is my video after it's been edited, and each one of those little lines, those little black lines, is an edit. Every single one of those little lines, and there's a lot of them, is an edit where I had to cut a piece out and stitch pieces together. That's a lot of work. So I just want to add here that I am so grateful to those of you that click subscribe and like and support my videos in that way, especially since vidIQ just gave me an award for reaching 13,000 subscribers and 875,000 views. Your support means the world to me. This video making is a lot of work. I don't think most people who consume YouTube creators' content without supporting them by subscribing or liking or commenting or sharing their videos, I think that's because they just don't realize how much work actually goes into video making. So please support your favorite YouTube artists and creators And just by giving them a like, subscribing, sharing their videos. Sharing their videos is really helpful. But yeah, I thought I would share that with you. And I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank you for your support in getting me to 13,000. Now let's see if we can get my channel to 15,000 subscribers. That is, I got to have a celebration at 15,000. Maybe I'll do a giveaway at that point, because that will be really exciting. Okay, thanks guys. Okay guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm up to 13,000 subscribers, and I would love it if you helped me get to 15,000. That's going to be my next big mile mark, is 15,000. So subscribe, and let's see how fast we can get to 15,000. Also, I got another award from vidIQ, and it's that I've reached 850,000 views. So that is just a huge number. It blows my mind that I have reached that many people. But yep, I'd really appreciate your thumbs up, your comments, share the video, and help me get to 15,000 subscribers. Have a great creative week. I hope that you feel well and that you're doing well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.